Hey everyone, here's my research card for today. Um, I know it's kind of difficult to see. I didn't have a flashcard with me today. I'm not currently at home, so just work with me, please. Oof. All right. So, have you ever had your phone laying down on a table or even been using it? You see a notification, you click on it, you do a few tasks afterwards, and somehow an hour has passed and you haven't even noticed? Well, we're in the same boat, okay? So don't even worry. Today I'm going to be talking about what excessive screen time is and what researchers have been looking into, what its effects are in individuals who do use their screen excessively. It goes both ways. It's both good and bad. And you may be thinking, well, how exactly does this affect me? Well, it not only affects your sleep or your attention span, but it also affects daily routines from those things, and it can also affect your cognitive function and your psychological health. So without getting too into it, I'm just going to be discussing what exactly the definitions are, what the health effects are, and what recent trends have been showing. All right, so for definitions, what exactly is screen time? Well, in one of Yuyan Xiao's research studies with other authors as well, other researchers, it stated that screen time was any time you on a screen where it was taking your full focus. So this would be things like your phone, these would be things like your computer, your tablet, your smartwatch, and your television. I mean, some of us do watch a lot of TV. I will say that much. Grey's Anatomy for me. I like to watch that show. But this is not going to include things like when you look at your stove and it has a clock on it, or when you turn your alarm clock off in the morning. This is not that. This is talking about like your full undivided attention, your full focus, and you're using it for a large amount of time throughout the day. So let's talk about some other definitions under screen time. So there's a difference between two interactions with the screen. So there's interactive screen time and there's passive screen time. So both of them are taking up your focus, but interactive screen time specifically is when you're actually using the electronic device, and let's say you're playing a game on your phone or playing video games, scrolling on social media maybe, that's all interactive. Versus passive screen time, which is when you're watching a TV show like I was saying, right? You're watching a YouTube video, you're trying to learn something, that's all going to be passive screen time. So you're not actually doing anything with electronics, you're just watching. And that's to say, screen time isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can be used in good ways. So it's neither bad nor good. It just needs to be in moderation. And as long as you know what you're doing, everything's all good, right? So let's actually get into what the health effects are of screen time. So in a research study by Amber Latif and other scientific authors as well, it showed that an increase in screen time actually lowered school performance and attention spans in children. So this is not necessarily adults, but in children. And these children, it appeared that they were being fostered in an environment that also fostered screen time. And so they weren't getting their proper daily screen time. They were getting too much. And what excess is considered, studies say are, and pediatricians also say, is that 1 hour for children 5 and under is a good amount of time. Anything above that would be considered excessive. And as for anyone above 5, 2 hours should be the maximum. Anything beyond that is considered excessive for young children, young adults, and just adults beyond that. There was another research study that by Subhranshu Kaur that was done with other researchers along with them that showed that an increase in screen time delayed language development, and it also delayed fine motor skills, and it decreased social interaction, which again, these are children, they're very imprintable. It's not to say that screen time is bad or good, it's just what was being studied, okay? It's not necessarily a good or bad thing. From personal experience, over COVID-19, I did have to learn, and we had blocks from 8 to 12, so for an hour each class. It was 4 classes total, and every day we would switch classes. It was basically 4 hours straight of using a device and looking at a screen. So we were all, at least everyone that was doing the schoolwork, we were all doing excessive screen time. But that's not to say it was a bad thing. We were all still learning, so we're all benefiting from it, and it wasn't necessarily damaging our mental health. We were still having social interactions as well, so it's difficult to say whether, let's say for this screen time where it was affecting children, um, in which it was decreasing their social interaction, it could be different for other individuals, right? Okay, and then kind of like what I was saying with COVID-19, what recent trends have been showing is that after COVID-19, there was a significant increase in screen time, and that was found in a study done by Malmi Darwin. Sorry if I'm chopping that name up, but that's what the study showed, and that's completely understandable because we were all away from school, we were all working at home, right? We were using devices more and more often, and like I was saying, it's not to say that it was a good or bad thing. It can be helpful, it can be positively negative to us, um, but overall, it's a tool, and we have to know how to use the tool right. And lastly, in a study done by Yuyin Xiao, like I had mentioned earlier, with other researchers as well, children under 6 have screen exposure already. So they're being uh, raised in an environment that fosters this excessive screen time. And it's down to the parents in those cases where they should be possibly monitoring. They don't have to. Like I've been saying, it's good. It could be bad. It depends in moderation, and you can kind of go based off of what you'd like to. This is just informative, right? This is just a recent study that's been found. This You can go based off however you want to use your screens, however you want your children to use their screens, right? So throughout this speech, in total, I've discussed what the definition of screen time are. I've discussed what exactly the health effects are, and I've also discussed what some recent trends are saying. Um, it's just very important to know about screen time because screen time has become so modernized in society that it is affecting people's health, and both positively and negatively. It's not to say that it's going one way specifically, but it's important to know about excessive screen time because it connects health, mental health, development, and our own like daily routines and who we are as people, right? And lastly, as excessive screen time becomes more and more modernized in the future, will researchers continue finding the same thing, or are they going to see even more screen use, right? Are they going to be finding even more behaviors that are coming out from this? Maybe more decreased social interaction. Maybe states will become more highly educated, countries will develop further. Thank you so much for listening.